What's happening, bulls? Happy Friday. There's a market pullback going on right now, and you knew about it because you watched our videos and you listened to what we say in Telegram. If you were in Telegram yesterday, you would have seen that we had a few shorts that I posted. A couple here, a couple of ideas: XRP, API3, MYRO, SLERF, Slurf. There's a few reasons why we put those shorts on, and we'll go through those soon after we go through a bit of news first. We'll talk a bit about a few different things and reasons on how and why this is happening and where it is at the moment, and how you can make gains off it. The Bitcoin is still bull market. There's still a bull market. Everything's still a bull market. It's a bull trend. So stay bullish, but pullbacks do happen. Shakeouts do occur. So how you handle those is what makes all the moolah. And in saying that, with those shorts that are posted recently, they are short-term shorts. Be bullish. Bull market, be bullish. Watch this. $4 trillion JP Morgan CEO. If you've been around to see Jamie Dimon's all colors of the 50 shades of Jamie Dimon, then you'll understand why this is a big deal, that he's finally capitulating, and he's finally capitulated about 5 times already, but here's another time. This one's even more important. Let's listen.
Merging. We've seen lately a merging of kind of crypto and JP Morgan and traditional finance in recent months, whether it's the Coinbase partnership that you announced yesterday, where Chase customers can use credit cards to fund Coinbase accounts, or Investor Day, where you said clients can buy Bitcoin, although you cautioned against it, or the stablecoin like token JPMD. How prevalent do you see crypto in traditional finance, and do you foresee risks as these two worlds do become more intertwined?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's never been a new financial product that didn't entail risk. So that obviously is going to be risk, and they haven't written all the laws yet. Like, think of the rules around it, like, AML and BSA and KYC and disclosures, and when they say stable coin, which we're going to have. I'm not against stable coins, like a mutual fund, but mutual funds have rules. What are the rules going to be around stable coins? And I think there are really, so I'm a believer in stablecoin, a believer in blockchain, not personally a believer in Bitcoin itself, but you're the customer. I don't like to tell customers what they can and can't do with their money. That is a whole different issue for us, and so we're going to accommodate those things. You mentioned that we did a deal with Coinbase, so you can now move money from Chase to Coinbase. We're going to make it easier for people. They've agreed how to use our APIs, which we think is a good thing. So we'll be in it, and we'll see. It's a little bit of a solution looking for a problem, because if I'm going to send you, we already have the JP Morgan coin. We already move money 24/7. We move $10 trillion a day quite effectively, efficiently, safely, with all the cyber protection and stuff like that. But if I'm going to send you a stable coin, you're going to say to me at one point, well, I don't want your mutual fund, just send me cash, and I'll invest the way I want. But there are things that stable coins maybe can do that traditional cash can't, like is programmable. I might be able to send you a stable coin, then you can send it to 10 different vendors you want to pay on a regular basis or something like that. So we'll be in it and we'll use it. And if the customers want to use it and how they use it and it's used properly, we'll be doing it. It's what the customer wants, it's not what JP Morgan personally wants.
Sounds like that's the case with both private credit and crypto.
Classic, isn't it? He's basically saying that. I remember, do you remember when he was talking about crypto and blockchain like as if it was poison, pure poison? Times has changed. Now he's coming over to stable coins. Stable coins are going to be, in my opinion, stable coins are going to be the gateway drug for crypto for the whole global economy. Everyone's just going to be forced into stable coins, and then you'll just in turn have to understand blockchain, and then a byproduct of that will be what is the opt-out trade from the fiat system. It's going to be Bitcoin, and then people will just start realizing probably when it's $1 million a coin. But we're like exactly what he's saying about stable coins. They're programmable. They're just better than dollars in every single way. And other than cash. Cash is king, like as in notes and stuff, being able to not get taxed on stuff. But what's better than that? What's better than just the typical bank transfers and shit that we got going on? Well, actually, CBDCs are fucked anyways, but I'm just saying, stable coins in general are far more useful, especially to those that cannot be banked at third world countries, etc. They can just have a crypto wallet on their phone and they can send dollars around the world. Like, very important for people. Other things that we have is this guy, he's all right. Goes all right, this fella. Do not mind him one
what's the update on a potential Bitcoin strategic reserve?
Well, look, we have it. It's been established through executive order in the SPR. We also have the strategic national stockpile. The digital assets national stockpile. I think that one, we wanted to recognize Bitcoin for being unique, and we talk about what that looks like and kind of the threshold that Bitcoin has created. It's in a class of its own, and everyone recognizes that. But we also wanted to give credence to the work and the development that's happening across other ecosystems, and that's why we have this national stockpile alongside. This actually requires some labor to get this set up properly. You have to build the infrastructure. You have to make sure that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's to get this done the right way and have long-term success with it. But I've said ad nauseum, we do believe in accumulation, obviously in budget-neutral ways, as the president's outlined. But there are countless ways that we can engage in that. We'll act on those that can be most expeditiously implemented. And I think that, people will be very pleased with the direction that we go in, and we'll start moving on that in short order. But obviously in this report, if you read the first Digital Assets EO, we're tasked with creating a clear and robust regulatory framework. And so that's what we focus on here. We understand the importance of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. We're enormous fans of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin community, and we want to deliver for them as well, and I'm certain that we will.
How much Bitcoin does the federal government have?
I can't discuss that right now.
Come on, give us a ballpark.
I can't.
Is it going to be made public?
There are several reasons in which we're not disclosing that at this time. There might be a time in which we do. But what I will say is, we want as much as we can possibly get. And that's what I continue to say, and we're going to continue to work on that.
If you want to be at the forefront of finance and technology and crypto, which is the combination of those two, you want to be listening to people that are younger and more up to date and up to speed with it, and not stuck in the roots, stuck in the mud, and stuck in their old ways, like the Jamie Dimon video that we just watched before that. In fact, there is a lot that you can take from the wisdom. So you can take the timeless wisdom, but when it comes to being at the forefront, they just can't keep up. And why would they? They've done things that work for them for 60 years, 50 years, 40 years even. Why change it? So they try and keep that archaic, fossilized ledgers and dusty old books in circulation as long as they can. But, it's inevitable that they're going to fade into dust. Here we go. Here's another thing that we want to show you. Coinbase coin earnings out. Miss on everything. So Coinbase ain't doing too well. And my backing of the Coinbase ecosystem as well, the base ecosystem, it's just not hitting the same. It's just not. The Coinbase is just falling below all expectations in all ways, ecosystem-wise, stock market-wise, everything. Company-wise, user base-wise, everything is falling short, as you can see here. Revenues down, trading volumes down, subscription and service revenues down, prices are down, and the stock reflects that. Unfortunately, you look at the coins like Brett and other coins that are on the base ecosystem, and they're not hitting the same. They're not doing too well. Anyway, let's get into the fun stuff, the charts, and the better updating of the news. So look at this, right? I just want to show you. This is Colin Talks Crypto. Good for Colin. But in saying that, people will make these assumptions of fractals, comparisons to previous price action, and this is generally what it is. More so, if I were to draw this, I'd be drawing a range. Horizontals are far more accurate than diagonals, but what he's doing here, right, is very accurate. In the sense that you make lower lows, you trick the market into thinking that it's returned, and then you make an even lower low. Then the rally begins, and a short higher low, like a stubby higher low, occurs, and then price becomes really tight, volatility completely contracts, and then there is another leg higher. This is just standard, the bull flag. You can call it the bull flag, or you can call it many names, many patterns. But what I'm just wanted to point out about this, right, is that he's trying to time the bottoms. For example, green, pink, and then he's assuming that this will be the blue. But what I'm saying here is the green could be, well, he's just have it on a first low. The green could be here. The pink could be here. And then the blue could be here. Like, for example, you could just, I can't use my fingers, but you could extrapolate this and put it there, or you could put it, the green could be that, the pink could be that, and the blue could be this or this. And then there's followed by further down that takes out all this liquidity and all these stop losses under here. So there's no guarantee. You're just going to see what you want to see. Like, the market is going to continue to take out the lows as long as there is enough liquidity and a thin enough order book for the lows to be taken out. So at the end of the day, you're going to see what you want to see, but I could easily just draw that and then have the pink down here, like this pink down here, and then take out even more lows and then a higher low up here. Like, it doesn't have to be. You're just going to be able, because there's highs and lows everywhere. You're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to see this pattern wherever you want to see this pattern, is what I'm getting at. Now, we like Lark Davis, right? But inverse head and shoulders. I mean, fuck. Like, this is just an uptrend. It's a low, higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Like, it's just an uptrend, bro. Like, every cunt wants, sorry, excuse the language, but everybody wants to see head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders and patterns. Don't worry about patterns are good, but just don't worry about the patterns most of the time, man. Patterns, you do the full circle. You do the full circle. You start with patterns and trend lines, and then you try and get real tricky with it and dig really deep, and then you come full circle right behind that and realize, hey, you just draw horizontal lines, look for the liquidity, and then just simple trends, trending, uptrend, downtrend. Like, it's not about what the pattern is. It's about what the pattern represents. Okay, so even if this was a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, what is it representing? It's just representing a neat and tidy uptrend. Okay, don't worry about looking for, similar to that other thing, that other pattern that I was just showing you. You don't need to look for things. If you look for something that you want to find, you will find it. Okay, it's just like if you have an opinion on something, let's just say politically, and then you want to find somebody that shares the same opinion. If you look, you will find what you want to see. If you're looking for an opinion or you're looking for something, you will find it eventually. Now, here we go. Oh, we just got an alert. This is the Bitcoin chart. 1 candle equals 1 day, daily chart. We're getting blue bar volatility, massive blue bar volatility. Here, we've had this chart drawn for a while. We've got momentum turning down, so this is sort of getting pretty obvious with the direction. This is why we drew these liquidity zones. So we'll have a look at the liquidity zones now. This is, yep. So each liquidity zone is another step lower, as you can see, and another step lower is another large amount of liquidity getting grabbed. So if I zoom out again, let me just get rid of this on the side. If I zoom out again, you can see I've got to zoom in, sorry. If I zoom in even further, you'll see why I've dragged these liquidity zones. They come from previous resistances. Look at that. So you had a little range there. If we zoomed right in, that range would last for a while, just for understanding's sake. Look at this. See, sideways price action. See, that's a range. Sideways price action, you get about 80 to 90% of all price action occurred within this range over a 2-day period. Not only that, but so it did it as well here. So it becomes an area of importance, significance. And you can see again here and again here. So they become liquidity zones. You can learn why, or you can just take my word for it. Now, once we started moving into this liquidity zone, if you remember, I was just like, hey, this liquidity zone, it's a slut. It's been hit hit a lot of times. Look at it, boom, 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 boom. If it doesn't hold here, it's just going to go down into the next one. So now I'm expecting prices or lows of at least 13.7, down to in the 13s, I'd just say, and that would be the potential area for the next low or bottom, if you will. So I wouldn't be longing anything. I mean, you might miss it. And at any time, anything can happen. We're just talking the most likely scenarios, but any time anything could happen. But in most situations, you'll come, and in most see, this is why I drew this. Like I draw them. In most of the time, I draw them from. Sometimes I'll go a little bit further back, like I'll draw something starting from there, But most time I'll try and draw it from where it is. So when we look back at it, so let's just say I did draw it from here. It was sort of expecting it to come into this area, and that's where either that or basically a breakout, which it did not do. It did the exact opposite of this one, so you can count this one out. And now I'm just expecting it to do this. I mean, the trend is down, and with quite a lot of force over a weekend as well, low liquidity. So this is what I'll expect. I'll show you right now. I'll expect something like, let's zoom in a bit. I'm going to have to go into it's actually dropping like a rock. We're on a 30-minute chart now. One candle equals 30 minutes. If I go something like this, just bring it down steeply. Fucking pretty steep, actually. And realistically, it's it's dropping very, very strongly. You'll probably see something along the lines of boots, and then you get like blue bar here, which is hopefully typically on the Saturday or the Sunday. Yeah, it's Saturday, and then you'll come up at least bare minimum to here. It's just sort of standard price behavior. So on these blue bars, I'll be looking to long. Especially hoping that it goes like that, comes down, fills all of my bags at a good price, and then heads up. That's typically what I'll see. But like I said, anything can happen. And in my opinion, like it could. Listen, it could go down to 70. Like if a bunch of Bitcoin holders just woke up and needed the liquidity right now, it could go down to 70. But what I'm getting at is that, I'd give this being the bottom here, this liquidity zone, like maybe 60-70% chance, and then like 30% chance that it comes down to this one, even further, and then maybe whatever it is, 10% chance or 5% chance it goes even further. So that's sort of where I'm at, and you'll see that all the altcoins will just sort of like respect that in their own way. Like they will all have their own liquidity zones and shit. I'll show you a few. Like for example, Bonk here. Look, this is another chart that I had up. I was trying to short it, but I missed out on the entry. I had this alert here set, and I missed it. It nearly tagged it, but yeah, just like this, right? So Bonk, I'm expecting. Lost the light. Bonk, I'm expecting it to come down to here, and we drew this fucking all the way back up when it was up here, because you can see there's a lot of price action for a long time in this area. This is a big knot. So Bonk's good longing down here. And everything typically lines up. Like the momentum will be down, everything will be ready. You'll get like a big liquidation wick. So it'll do something like this. It'll be like boots. Come into this area. Like this is all going to probably come to a pointy end in the next day or two. You might get something like this, and then bang, and then you'll have like a candle that goes whoots, and then boom, and then boots, like that. Pretty much the other scribble that I was drawing. Whatever the fuck that was. Something like that, And right here is the time to long. After it's had that big sharp wick that takes out all these stop losses that are still there, because there are. There's stop losses there, guaranteed. So Bitcoin, that's pretty much Bitcoin done. So Bitcoin in the 13s, good longing, real good longing. Hang on, this is you can't even see the side. That's pretty shit. How about that? It's probably better. Yeah. Yep. All right. You can have a look on all my tabs up. This is how much longer we got. Ethereum. So everyone's high on Ethereum right now. You know it. I know it. Ethereum is on a mission building up a massive staircase. So this is the sort of shit when everybody starts getting on Ethereum's dick that you start looking at Solana and Sui. For real. Start looking at the other ones, it's the same. Remember when everyone was buzzing on Solana and Sui, and then we're just like, hey, don't sleep on Ethereum. Bring that up in the Telegram, that'd be easy. It's just like, you just got to have the faith that it comes around, and it does. Everyone's on Ethereum's dick. 3-day pump. We'll have a little look at the Ethereum chart in a second. Because, you're seeing it's all over. It's all over X. This Ethereum setup looks way too familiar. People are starting to compare it to the fucking crazy bull run of, you're just going to see whatever you want to see. To me, that looks nothing at all. Nothing like that. But that's just me. But, you just it's cope, and then it's just explaining, copying 21 step by step. I don't even know. Do I follow this dude? What the fuck? But this time with Black, I just repost shit so I can bring it up and show you. I don't do it because I fucking believe it, that's for sure. But this time with BlackRock, ETFs, and Institute, I mean, that shit is true. But I'm just saying, everyone's just mad about Ethereum. Look, people, Crypto Face is, he's gammon, but this is the sort of shit everyone's doing, just inverse head and shouldering everything, expecting higher prices. Now let's have a little look at the Ethereum chart ourselves, shall we? This is not prepared. Oh, it's a blue bar. Wow. Blue bar, 1 day, massive move about to happen. You can see what happens when a blue bar is, right? So this blue bar here is a double head fake, so it's the start of this move. This blue bar here, more accurate, see the blue bars, string of blue bars right there. It's just as soon as the blue bar's finished, bang, straight from 1.8 to nearly 2.8. Blue bars here on the ledge, head fake, lower prices. Blue bars at the top, get blue bars. So blue bars, this is either the top, or it's going to be doing what I've just drawn here. You've got a knot down here, liquidity zone. It's going to be truly quite difficult for Ethereum to. Go do these videos in the morning. Ethereum to get down here, but it's definitely possible. So if you see Ethereum crash down to under 3K, long the F out of it. Long the F out of it. So I'm saying right now, scenario 1, highest probability is head fake. So blue bar means new move when it's going sideways. So head fake, opposite direction, and then correct direction. That's a head fake. Or the move is down and it'll find its way where all the liquidity is, which is all the way down here. So these are the two things that I'm looking for with Ethereum right now, and we drew this back here, so bank that. Let's have a look at Solana. Where's the Solana price target for us? Oh yeah, we've already drawn something ages ago. Oof, that's a tough chart, that hurts for those people that bought it above 200, and I bet there was a lot of people that did that. Solana's just coming down to this liquidity zone again, just a heat seeker. No, I think I was a bit generous with this. I don't think it'll go down that far. We're just gonna restart here on this little one, because I just think it'll probably just do shit like this, and then maybe something like that would be best case. But it could definitely come down to here. You can see there's going to be a lot of liquidity here, but I think people are probably starting to sleep on Solana a little bit at the minute. So I'd be long in Solana under 165 pretty happily. I'd be definitely zooming in a bit more though. Yeah, look at that shit, you're beaten up. I mean, hey, look, it's better to long it here than here. It just depends on your leverage. So if the higher leverage that you use, exponentially the better entry that you need. So if you're like, this is the perfect entry, I've got 10 out of 10 things on my checklist that say that this is the perfect entry. I've never seen an entry this good. Then ramp the leverage up. But if it's just like, oh, I'm chasing it, you know, everyone does it. I do it. I still make mistakes, you know. I'll think that, oh yeah, this is good to go, and then I ramp up the leverage trying to get a big gain and then show it off in the group. Like I just recently did that. I recently did that with XRP. My XRP trade would be up thousands probably right now, but I got stopped out right at the tippy top. Put a short on, comes up, like basically just taps my stop loss and then drops like a rock. I risked $300 US, and now that would easily be. Let's have a look. This is XRP chart. Look at this. It's coming down to this same shit, liquidity area, liquidity zone, whatever you want to call it. Right here, I got done. I put on the short, I think right there. You know, or yeah, I think I put it on right there. I survived this. I was like, oh yeah, sweet. And then there was another wave right after it. My stop loss. Catch this. My stop loss was 3, 7. There. Yep. So, congrats, Chad. Look at that. You know, just drop another couple X leverage and just have it up in the no man's land. These are the best places for the liquidity, for the stop losses, bro. Like up here, right in these big empty areas. Because the point of this is to literally take out all these previous highs. Tried to take out this high, and that's where it failed. So, you know, just drop the greed and put a stop loss out of reach. So I'd be up, you know, fuckloads. 70, 70, 140, 200, 300%. So it'd be up $1,000 pretty much. But you know, not too bad. Anyways, where were we? That's pretty much. We'll talk about a few more things, but yeah, just look for the just a, it doesn't even have to be long. Just look for just a little. If you're keen as, and in a lot of circumstances, it'll literally just dip the toe into these liquidity areas. Like you could even argue that this liquidity area has already been touched. You know, a lot of the highs are right here. Look, boom, boom. So big old liquidity area, liquidity zone. So you could argue that the feet are in there. I mean, the good entry is like typically around the middle of it, which would be about there. So about 162. But you're looking for candles. If you're looking for entries, you're looking for big wicky candles, big long wicks on medium time frames. Shit that looks like that. See that one? Shit that looks like that. And we will get it. Most likely we will get it. You probably get it. Like what I've just drawn here anyways. Moving on, what's Sui look like? Sui loves getting sold, sort of like XRP. The owners just dump. Yeah, don't ask about that one. Remove that one because clearly it's not happening. I think Sui's just range bound, so expect we get a G box on this now because this is getting turning into quite a serious range. There you go. Yep, expect bare minimum $3 on Sui for a long, and then $2.60 for an ideal entry if you can get that. Let the trade come to you, my guy. Here's one, Miro. Yeah, I got this on still for a short, but yeah, just waiting for it to make another leg down. That'd be good. Finishing up on a couple of tweets. Let's talk a little bit about XRP really quick, actually. Okay, let's just have a quick little brief talk about XRP. Now, before I do that, I just want to say I have been around long enough to have made 20 grand on XRP when I was an apprentice, and I'm very grateful for that, and it paid for a full Thailand trip, new surfboard, a few other things. So a credit where credit is due, and also I respect the pump, and also I respect the lawsuit that they won. Now, in saying that, I'm not going to go too far into it, but let's just have a look at a couple of things really quickly in regards. Good morning. My brother is looking to do something in crypto as he doesn't have a lot of money, but this is what he sent me, and I wanted to get your thoughts. Now, where are we? I would like to buy 2 or 3 different types. If I buy $300 of XRP now at $3.15, this might be a parity, and it goes to 10k each, but people do believe this, where the experts say it needs to be on to operate. That's $1 million and retirement for me. It seems like a wise gamble. $300 isn't a lot to lose, but if it goes to 10k, I can sell a third and hold the rest. What do you think? So, where's a good one? Here you go. Market cap of, I think it's called. So when you just want to be realistic when you look at price predictions, okay? So for XRP to be as big as Bitcoin, which is huge, obviously Bitcoin's like top 10, top 5 assets in the world now. It will be $38 a coin. Okay, so let's just start with that. If you're looking for price predictions for things, go to market cap of, and then just think about what that coin could, like, compare it to one that's bigger. If it's Ethereum, compare it to Bitcoin. If it's Solana, compare it to Ethereum. Like, compare it to, like, okay, so where's this thing got to go to first to dominate and overtake? So for Ethereum to be $10,000 a coin or whatever, it's like fucking 100 times the size of Bitcoin. So if you think XRP is going to be bigger than Bitcoin, then aim for $40 target. That's just the reality of it. All right. Let's just have a read of this. I know people are very opinionated about this, but I've been following XRP since 2014 and I still have not found the answers to these questions. Genuinely looking for thoughtful responses. Ripple has 300 plus bank partnerships, but after 13 years, shouldn't there be billions in daily on-chain volume? Nobody's using it. If XRP is volatile, why use it over stable coins for transfers? You wouldn't. If volatility is not an issue because it's a bridge currency, what is the incentive to hold it? Are bridge currencies still necessary when stablecoins will cover most pairs in the future? Why would giants like BlackRock use XRPL for tokenizations instead of building their own blockchains? Geopolitical risk. Why would foreign countries trust a US-based private company? They wouldn't. Okay. In saying that, zooming out on the XRP chart, might get a little pullback here, but all in all, very, very strong. Anything above $2, fantastic. If you bought it when we recommended it on these last blue bars here, well done, congratulations. And anything, $2.70 wise for XRP, cheap. I'm just going to wrap this up because I've got to go, but XRP, look at this blue bar, signifying the start of a new move, head fake, starting to dump. You probably get back down to test this support here. The markets worldwide are probably going to feel a bit of a pullback here. The dollar's pumping as well, look at this. So inverse, there you go. Dollar bottom breaking out of this channel, so it's been a good time. Now you need to obviously let the dollar run, everything it's time for a pullback worldwide. Let's leave it with a bit of a Trump. Jerome Too Late Powell has done it again. He is too late and actually too angry, too stupid and too political to have the job of Fed chair. He is costing our country trillions of dollars in addition to one of the most incompetent or corrupt renovations of a building in the history of construction. Put another way, too late. He's not happy. All right, bulls, have a good weekend. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Oh, and, like I'm saying, take it easy with the shorts now. If you didn't jump on those ones, wait patiently, look for some longs, maybe set some buy orders in. Look for the long wicks and then enter after there's been liquidations, long wicks, long wick. Once there's been a long wick and it's come back up, it's very hard for it to go back down again. Okay, remember that. So enter after a long wick and then enjoy your longing.